Hi, everyone. Good to see you all today. Ooh-wee. It is almost NaNoWriMo time. Can you believe that? It is 6 weeks away as of yesterday. It's a little bit on the terrifying side, can I just say? So I have a bunch of things to talk about today, and my hope is that we can kind of get it organized and ready to go for everybody there. Now you can see my lovely library that I'm sitting in. I'm so pleased. I know I'm easily pleased. So just briefly, I have currently 2 appearances on my docket. Okay. So the first is on October 1st. I will be at the Fitchburg Forge-In, and that is at Riverfront Park in Fitchburg, Mass. And it's 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. There is no fee to get into that. So if you want to just come, look around, meet the other blacksmiths, and it's modern and medieval blacksmiths. So it's not just one or the other. It's really fascinating stuff, and it's a lot of fun. And I don't know if you're into the smell of forges, but it does something for me. So I love it. I think it's amazing. So I will be at that. I'll be doing a cooking demo, and my household will be there, where parts of my household at least will be there with me, and we'll be doing fiber arts and other things. So I think it'll be a nice day, and it'll be fun and exciting. So I hope I see some of you there. The following day, on October 2nd, I'm going to be going to King Richard's Fair. And I'm not going to present or anything. I'm just going as a patron. But of course, I will be dressed up and having fun, although I get to wear some of my more fantasy gear. If you see me there, feel free to say hello. I probably will spend quite a bit of time at Andy Van Ness's tavern in the back. He's selling some amazing woodware, cups and mugs. I don't know if he has plates, but he definitely has games. He has a beautiful hand-turned chess set that he just put out. Absolutely phenomenal. Totally worth going and taking a look at. Plus, it's nice. You can go and watch people working. You can hang out. It's a beautiful booth, I gotta say. And then on October 8th, 2 weeks from now, I will be at the Scarecrow on the Commons. This is new for me. Scarecrow on the Commons is something that Jaffrey, New Hampshire has been doing for years. I have no idea how many years, but it's a long time. And so what they've done is they have the whole community comes together. They have donated clothing and stuff, and people donate hay, and the Boy Scouts put together the forms, and people come and they build scarecrows, and then we put them up all around town, and they vote on them. So the stores are in our area get a chance to do them in advance with their own gear, and they get a special voting section. But it's really cool, and there's nothing I love so much as coming into Jaffrey in October, which is when I moved to this town. And you're driving through town, and there's all these hundreds of scarecrows, and some of them are really amazing, and some of them are pretty weird looking, but that's okay, because the kids are getting so involved in doing things. And this year there's going to be vendors and stuff as well. Not only will I be up on the commons with the rest of the people, and I'll be selling cookbooks. I will not be doing a cooking demo because I can't have a fire, but I will be set up with my little fake fire and my tripod and everything, so you can come and visit me and say hi. But also at the Jaffrey High School, Conant High, they are doing a sale that day as well. So if you're looking for stuff for the fall, if you're looking for Thanksgiving stuff, or if you're starting your Christmas shopping early, it's a great place to go. I will be doing Christmas fairs later on in the year, but they haven't been announced yet, and so I don't have all those dates yet. All right. That's all of my appearance stuff off of the table. So now I'm going to talk about NaNoWriMo, because that's what we're here to talk about today. NaNoWriMo prep is the 6 weeks before Nano. Everybody works together. Not everybody, but those of us who like to do a little bit of prep are doing things. Now, I started out as what's called a pantser. I sat down on November 1st and started going, and just typed it. And that's not how I do it anymore. I have found that doing a level of planning is very helpful. And so I do every year now sit down and do some prep. Some prep is more, excuse me, in depth than others. When I was working on the science fiction novel, there was a lot of prep for that because I needed to be sure of my science before I started doing the writing. And so that was very important. So there was a lot of background to that. This, on the other hand, I know the world that this year I'm working in. You guys may be familiar with it. It's the world of Alexandra Taylor. I'm going to be writing her third installment, the third and final installment of the Taylor Mage novels. And so we will be dealing with the werewolves, I think, this year. We'll see. So on NaNoWriMo.org, so it's NaNoWriMo.org. Okay. NaNoWriMo is a National Novel Writing Month. They have a page where you can go to do NaNoWriMo prep. And there's a handbook, and there's a Nano prep portal, and there's all sorts of amazing stuff you can go and do. Week 1, which is this week, it started yesterday, and we're working through. This week is 4 ways to develop an idea. Excuse me. So the first one, and these are writing exercises, okay? This is not what you're going to write. This is getting your creative juices flowing so that you're prepared when it comes time to do the actual writing. So you're just working on generating ideas right now. So the first one is borrow a plot. It's write a summary of 3 books or movies or stories that you love. Include important characters, major plot turns, and settings. As an example, a teenage girl lives in a dystopian world where the USA has been divided into 13 districts, and every year children are chosen from each district to fight to the death. The teenage girl volunteers to fight in place of her sister. She tries to survive while also protesting against the evil capital and maybe falling in love. I'm sure some of you know the plot to the Hunger Games. And so that's what you're doing. So you're writing down these little things. I actually already did some of this. Let me see. I don't want to read all of them to you because I don't want to give in, but I'll read the obvious one. A nurse in 1940s England goes for a holiday in Scotland with her husband. While there, she accidentally falls through the stones into Scotland's brutal but beautiful past. She learns how to survive in an era that has no electricity, no running water, and no modern medical interventions. She falls in love with a young Scot, and they are married. They attempt to change history by ruining Prince Charlie's chances to win at Culloden Field, but unfortunately they fail. She returns through the stones, bearing the child of her husband of the past, and returns to her future husband. Obviously, the plot to Outlander. And so that was my work yesterday. Today, I'm going to be working on the second one. So you choose one of the summaries and start changing around different parts. Change a character, a setting, a plot turn, adjectives, verbs, anything else you like. So for their example, they used the plot line from The Hunger Games. So this one, because should they change it to a teenage girl lives in a future where the oceans have risen and everyone lives on small islands. The water is controlled by pirates who demand a sacrifice each year to keep the island safe. The girl is chosen, but in a storm, she's rescued by a different kind of pirate ship, one made up of former would-be sacrifices who act as pirates against the pirates. Okay, so you can see from that the plot line of The Hunger Games is under there, but it's been sufficiently changed that you're not going to run into copyright issues. You're not going to run into etc. Now, obviously, the pre-writing stuff that I'm working on is not actually going to turn into a story, at least for this year, because I already know what I'm writing. But I like doing this because it gets my creative juices flowing. The next thing they have you do is borrow a character. So you invent a history or future for someone. It could be a friend you lost touch with after college, a teacher you had, a family member you've had stories about, um, that kind of thing. Who is the person that intrigues you? What was their childhood like? What did they dream of? What was their greatest desire? What obstacles did they face? What was their greatest triumph? So basically, you're doing character creation. And this becomes very useful for me because even though I have my sort of general plot line that I'm going to be writing about, I want detailed characters. And one of the best ways that I have found for creating detailed characters is to make them from real people, which of course is why nobody loves writers, because we take you and put you in our novels. But that's okay. So the idea is you go and you do that, and then you find the story. What part of the imagined life that you've just created, the character, has the most drama, the most ups and downs? What is the nugget that you can write from? And then news you can use. Some of you may have been CSI fans, and we talk about the ripped from the headlines plots, where you're watching it, you're going, didn't that happen last week in Maryland? So yes, this is the basic idea. Pick an event from the news and then imagine it from the perspective of different people involved with it. So here's one that might be challenging for some of you, but actually would be worth looking into. A political race where you're writing from the point of view of the most hated contender and why that character was misaligned or badly treated. Not that this is a reflection of beliefs, but that this is something that, I mean, I want you to think about that. What happens if you take somebody like Trump and you turn it around and you write it from Trump's point of view? Everybody is the hero in their own story, and do it seriously, not tongue in cheek. That's a whole story right there. And I mean, that could be anything from post-apocalyptic to science fiction to romantic history. You could put anything in there, and it would definitely be different and really interesting and weird. And then the fourth one that they suggest from Nano is look through photos, and they give you a list of photos, and they want you to talk about the world that you're seeing. So that's the week one. And I recommend you go to the NaNoWriMo website, download the guide, and work through it. As I said, even if you, like me, do not have don't have to come up with a story idea because you already have one, this is good because even if you don't use it as the main storyline, what you might do is use it as subplot. It might give you ideas for how to further develop a character or a storyline or a dramatic arc or a subplot, all that stuff. Nothing that you do in creative writing is to be thrown away. I don't have it hanging up right now, but I have usually hanging right here my geek stick. It's in the little things you put data on, a data stick. And that contains all of my past writing, even the stuff I don't like, the stuff I wanted to throw away. Because who knows, maybe 20 years down the road, I want to pull out one of those ideas and I actually have more skill and the ability to fix it. Why rewrite it? Why reinvent the wheel? I'm not interested in that. So as you get ready for NaNoWriMo, remember, you can set your own rules for Nano, okay? You don't have to write 50,000 words if that's not what you want to do. You could set your goal at writing 50 poems. You could set your goal at writing 25,000 words. You could write 10 short stories. Pick your goal. The idea is to have a reasonable goal and work towards it. And the Nano site has become much more open to that kind of thing. You can kind of set it up in a way that lets you manipulate how you reach your goal. That said, go out, come up with your ideas, jot them down, start making notes, and join me for Nano in November. I believe I'll probably be doing at least one library appearance, so keep an eye out on my website and my channel. I'll talk about it as I get there. But yeah, so that's where we're at. I hope I see some of you at either the Blacksmith Festival or at the Scarecrow and Commons if you happen to be local to me here in Jaffrey. Come buy a book. They make great Christmas presents. Give the gift of history and give the gift of food. Can't go wrong with that. I love you guys, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, always leave comments. I'm always willing to take a look and see what people have to say to me. I love you guys. Bye.